Gunline, gunline, gunline. We got a fire mission coming down for that ass. I'm your host, Lopez, and you're listening to the On the Gunline podcast where we shoot the shit like we did in the past. So go on and pop a squat because it's about to get hot right now. You're on the gunline now. With me today, I have a new person that I've never met before, veteran, spent a hell of a lot of time in the military. We'll find out about him. He's now a motivational speaker. And he will pump you up because he has his fucking motto that it just gets my blood pumping. But thank you for coming here. Welcome on the gun line, Mr. Ernie Mariscal. Thank you for being here, brother.
Hey, I really appreciate you having me, man. It's such an honor and a privilege to do this because you know what? We need more of this in the world. We need to push more, motivation and inspiration to our people, especially our veterans that need it. Right now, we're all pissed off right now.
Fact.
And we just got to keep those emotions in check. Still we got a life to live. We got a family to take care of, and including ourselves, take care of us. That mental health and being emotional and pissed off ain't gonna help us.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. And, there's those veterans out there that, like ourselves. I don't know if you went to Afghanistan or not, but I spent some time out there and, just knowing it almost feels like the shit that we did over there was almost in vain. But, we'll get into that a little bit and we're going to learn how to keep up the fight, and for those that don't know, that's his motto. And I fucking love it. That shit it gets my dick hard, man. But with that said, Ernie, tell us a little about yourself, man. Where are you from?
Okay, I'm from, actually, I was born in Uvalde, Texas.
Okay.
Not too far from San Antonio.
Yeah.
And so we moved to Southern California, a little farm town in Brawley, California.
Orale, Imperial County, right?
Yeah. Yes. So I grew up here. I graduated. And, well, let me back it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
So growing up, I went through a lot of trauma. I went through sexual abuse. I went through physical abuse. I was kicked out at 16 years old, lived on the streets, dropped out of school, fucking went back to school, graduated, and then I joined the United States Army.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man. But here's the thing. First I want to say is this: I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for anybody to feel sorry for me because that's not the case. Because where I'm at now, I am so far from that. But it will always be a part of me. But it won't fucking define me.
There you go.
There's choices. There's choices to be made in everything that you go through. You know what? You get knocked down, you still have a fucking choice to get the fuck up.
Goddamn.
You know what I'm saying?
So if you don't mind, so you overcame that adversity. I mean, at a young age, that's pretty hard shit to push through. I mean, did it lead you towards any any negative situation that you were involved in prior to you bettering yourself and joining the military?
Oh, fuck it. I was a fuck up, man. I was always getting in trouble in school. I was always fighting. I was just totally a negative person. See, but the thing was, I was feeling sorry for myself. I had so much anger built up. I had so much pain built up, and I didn't know how to release it.
Right.
I didn't know how to. I didn't have an outlet to that.
Right.
So what I did is, I just produced more negativity and this is what I like to call it. I projected it onto other people, other kids that were in my school, fighting them, telling them they were a piece of shit, telling them they were no good, just being negative all the way around. And
right.
I think times that I see kids that are, doing not that great. I always look for the root of the problem rather than look at the kid itself,
Yeah.
There's always something that creates something.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yep.
So I was going through a lot of things in my life, and eventually I got into drugs as well, and of course the typical, just fuck up, and then I got kicked out.
Right.
At my house. So again, I was living on the streets. So all that pent up frustration and anger I had, just created a negative me. So going with that, what got me back on track going back to school was I think I was about 17 years old and I was hanging out at a crack house.
Okay.
And man, I was so freaking hungry, man. And so I went into this kitchen trying to find something to eat. And I opened up the refrigerator, I only saw a gallon of milk, and I looked in the cupboards, looking for something, nothing. So I grabbed the milk and I grabbed the cup and I poured the milk into a cup. Nothing but freaking roaches came out, man.
Oh shit.
So I was like, fuck. I threw the milk away and I put the milk back, and I just went back to the room that I was sitting in. I was drinking a beer, in fact.
Okay.
And in no shit, man, somebody kicks the door open and I got a gun in my face asking me where the fucking drugs were at and shit like that. I was like, man, I don't have no drugs,
Right.
And in that moment, that's where it was like, what the fuck have I done? What have I done in my life? In that moment, that's when I realized, like, you know what? I could be so pissed off in life. I could be so angry. I could be, so much pain, but it's not going to solve shit.
Right.
All I'm doing is putting more pain upon me. I could blame, everybody and anything in the world. I can do that,
right.
But what does that do for me?
Exactly. So you stop feeling sorry for yourself at that
exactly.
point. And I mean, it's crazy that you're able to self-identify that at such a young age, because there's a lot of people that they get stuck in that trap. And I mean, I grew up in South Central LA, and I was definitely one of those cats that, was I don't want to say a product of my environment, but I came to the realization that if I kept going in the steps that there was only two options: death, prison. So, I had to make that choice, and I was like, okay, I'm fucking chucking deuces. And I moved out of LA all the way across the other side of the fucking country to Miami. I mean, it was a lot better than the situation I was in, but I was still making stupid choices. But so in your family, was there any history of military service?
Yes, my grandfather served in World War II. My other grandfather served in the Korea War, and I think those were the only two and my uncle served, but they didn't go to combat.
Okay.
So I did have it, but I always remembered watching, like, war shows or war stories, and I was like, man, I want to be a soldier. Right. So that was always in the back of my mind, and always playing soldier or war with our friends, shit like that. So all that shit was fucking, every time I saw a soldier or, freaking, I think I was remember in the 80s, because I'm 49, by the way, I'm fucking old. But
I'm right behind you, brother. I'm 43. I'm right behind you.
So I remember when in the 80s, Navy SEALs, that movie came out, and I was like, fuck, I want to be a Navy SEAL. All that fucking bullshit. Mm-hmm. But it was like, but I was so much in trouble. So anyway, that inspired me to become, or go into the military. So I did. I made that decision. Actually, my mom helped me with that, because she was like, you know what? You graduated. You're not going to be here. You're going to leave. You're going to go. Yeah. And that was the best decision of my life, even though I was scared as hell, because I never been away by myself,
Oh, shit. Well, shit, so, you were just what, a kid, right? Fresh out of high school, like 18?
Yeah, 18.
Wow. Dude. It's amazing that at 18, we think we know it all. And then when you're in your 40s, you realize you didn't know shit,
Exactly. Fuck yeah. And so, so I joined up. Honestly, I didn't even know what the hell I was doing or what I was going to become. I remember them telling me, oh, okay, you're going to be a 45 Tango. I was like, I don't know, whatever that is. Yeah. It's Bradley Fighting Vehicle Systems turret mechanic. I was like, okay, whatever the fuck that is.
Right.
So I went to basic training at Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Yeah. Fort Chill, baby.
Echo 3321. I still remember my basic training. And I got a funny story with that. So I got to the transition barracks, which basically were fucking nothing. So we just ate and slept. That's all we did for, I think it was like 3 days. And I remember on the third day, I was standing in formation thinking, man, is this the fucking Army? This shit's fucking easy, man. This is shit. And all I remember was saying that, and I remember our cadre came out and he goes, all right, your class cycle's about to begin for basic training. Right. I was like, what? The fuck is that? So no shit. 3 fucking cattle trucks pull up.
Oh yeah.
And then you start seeing like about 6 guys walking towards us at a very high rate of speed, with pissed off faces, round browns. And these motherfuckers are fucking big, man. I mean, like muscular dudes. And they just come at us, man, yelling and all this shit, man. I was like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Right.
And me, I'm short. So you better get on the fucking cattle truck in fucking 2 seconds, or I'm gonna pull everybody out and you're gonna fucking start, getting smoked and push-ups, all this shit. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm fucking rolling. We get in there. It was just chaos, man. I was sweating. It was just, again, it was straight chaos, man. So we got smoked that whole entire day till I think it was like midnight. And finally they told us to go to bed. Went to bed. They woke us up like at 3 o'clock in the morning. Get the fuck up. Get the fuck outside. It was just constant, man. And looking back at it, I understand what they were doing. They were, causing chaos to everybody to start gelling and working as a team. Said, hey, check this out. This is what you're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. Create leaders, man. Leaders within. Right. And, people fall in line and shit like that. So, it was a good thing that we did that. It was very good. I think they stopped doing that shit now. I don't know. I think they like shake your hand and
yeah, dude. It's become more of an all-inclusive army from what I hear. I mean, I'm not gonna say I had it as tough as you did because I didn't come in until 2004. So we still had the cattle cars though, and same as you, bro. I got to the 95th Adjutant General at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and it was during the Thanksgiving weekend. So it was pretty fucking lax, and we were in those transition barracks that you're talking about. And I remember the same thought, like, this is the fucking army. No wonder they get clowned on, man. This shit is too fucking easy, right? Man, did we have a wake-up call, because as soon as the break was over, the cattle cars pull up, drill sergeants come out, and they lined you up. And I mean, they're just looking at you like you're the biggest piece of shit. I still remember one drill sergeant by the name Drill Sergeant Beato. He's an officer now. He's probably retired now. But this motherfucker, Dominican, had that accent. And he was like, welcome to hell, privates. Bow your heads and pray. And don't worry about pussy, because you're the pussy and you're going to get fucked, privates. And I'm like, what the fuck did I just fucking, get myself into? And I remember just having my eyes closed in the cattle cars, rolling, and then you hear the fucking going over the railroad tracks, just boom.
Yes, boom. I remember that. I remember that shit.
That's when the real shit began, because now you're in the fucking Tradoc area. Holy shit. It was a get off the fucking cattle carts, foot's in your ass, carry your, oh my God, bro. And like you said, yep. And it was chaos. Like you said, it was complete chaos. But it all served a purpose at the end, which was to break us out of our civilian fucking mind frame and begin to build us into the soldiers we were supposed to be, or that we were to become, and that was meant also to weed out the weak, and now you can't do that because everybody gets a chance to be a soldier. Yeah, everybody should have the opportunity, but you know what? If you can't cut it, get the fuck out. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, and you know what? I totally agree with, like you said, get the fuck out. But here's the thing. In combat, there's chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't handle fucking people yelling at you and try to get you in line, combat's not going to be the place for you, man. You're going to fucking, it's not about, trying to be inclusive or whatever the fuck it is, because you're going to get people killed in combat.
Exactly.
That's not the place to fucking learn. Or see the failures. The failures are going to be back home. That's when you take people out, and that's what it was, dude. I remember we're into basic. I think it was like a month or so, and I remember this kid. He was from, I think he was from Miami too, a Puerto Rican dude. And one of the drill sergeants said, it told him something, lock it up or whatever it was, and he goes, I ain't gonna do it. And I remember the drill sergeant grabbing him by the blouse and throwing him on the ground and dragging him behind the formation. And it was so crazy because when he did that, it was like 3 other drill sergeants came from fucking nowhere. I was like, what the fuck? So they're all behind us. We can't see shit, but we can hear everything. We hear like, oh, oh, all these noises. And
Yeah.
fucking, the drill sergeant comes back in front of the formation, like breathing hard and fixing his blouse. He's like, but he was like, did you guys see anything? And we're like, oh, we didn't see shit.
Nope.
I tell you what, that motherfucker was straight up after that. He was, hey, do this. Bam. He was on it.
We had a similar incident with a Joe, old Pinto. I will never forget Pinto. Pinto had that I'm still back on the block attitude. You know what I mean? That a lot of us still had. I mean, I was older already. I was already in my fucking mid-20s, late 20s when I joined. This cat was still young, fresh off the block. So he thought he was going to run shit. He thought he was king shit, bro. And I'll give him credit for having the balls to do what he did. But we had this one drill sergeant, man, Drill Sergeant Bauer. He was an ex-Marine, transitioned to the fucking Army, and they happened to give him a fucking round brown while they were at it. So he's in there talking shit. He had that whole old school drill instructor voice, and telling everybody, I don't give a fuck, privates. If I tell you to do something, you better fucking do it. Little short white dude, man. And Pinto like chuckled like, psh. And he's like, what, private? And he's like, can't put your hands on us. He's like, private, if I tell you I'm going to choke slam you, I'm going to fucking choke slam you. And he's like, yeah, right. Bro, he picked the wrong motherfucker to do that to. Drill Sergeant Bauer just executed a fucking half left face, started walking towards him, raised his fucking hand up, bam, slammed the fuck out of him into the goddamn wall locker. Guarantee you, he never talked shit back to the drill sergeants ever again. And like you said, the drill sergeants, and this was an NCO corps back then that I came up in as well. They all gathered around and, they made sure that everything was taken care of, squared away, and good to go. Nobody snitched. Nobody saw nothing. It was part of what was expected to be. It was part of the military culture then. Yes. It's not for the weak. And because like you said, when we're in combat, when the bullets are fucking flying, I'm not going to be saying, hey, man, can you go get me that ammo over there, please? Hand me that AT4. I ain't got time for that, Chief. We got to be hopping and popping. So, but that's crazy. I mean, what was your experience like with your recruiter? I mean, you say you didn't have any fucking idea what you were getting into anyway, right? So after when you first got in, did you figure that you were going to make this a career, or was this going to be like maybe 3 years and I'm out, or just?
In basic, I was like, man, what the fuck did I get into? As soon as I could get out. I remember I did sign up for 4 years. So
okay.
And I remember telling my the 4 years I'm fucking out.
Right.
But so after I graduated, I remember we had a party at the Gunner's Inn, and we had honor platoon. So
okay.
We had a party. We had like caves and shit.
Damn.
Man, we got fucked up that night.
Hell yeah.
So that was cool. But I remember when I went to my first duty station, which was Fort Riley, Kansas.
Ooh, okay.
In the middle of fucking nowhere. So what I learned there, when I got to my duty station and I was in the motor pool, we had Bradleys.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned. I was probably the only Hispanic dude, Mexican dude, in my section at least, and maybe one or two in the other sections. There wasn't that many of us. So I knew that I had to do something. So in order to come up, man, to become better, I started grabbing manuals.
Okay.
My FMs and ARs and all this shit. And I started reading. I'd take them home, read.
Yeah.
And I started fucking fixing shit. I was the fucking man. I was the fucking best leader. I would be that guy. I'll do it. I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So I became that guy that, everybody counted on. Hey, get Mariscal. He'll fucking do it. He'll make it happen.
Right.
So, and then I got promoted to sergeant. And then I started running, I started having soldiers. And that's when I realized, you know what? I'm not going to be that guy that's going to shift blame, point fingers, anything like that. I'm going to own what I do. And for the people that work for me, I'm going to make them, better than who I am.
Right.
That's my goal. So again, I became better by investing in myself rather than being that guy, that NCO that was scared to make decision, that was, afraid of whatever it is. If I needed to say something, I spoke my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I noticed, like, man, you get respect with that shit. You earn that respect, and that's when I started working hard, and I just became better and better. And I was like, man, I love this shit. I actually love this shit.
It's funny you mentioned that. You took the initiative to fucking better yourself, to take those FMs, those TMs, learn the ARs. There's some motherfuckers that do that for the spotlight, not the spotlight per se, but because there's ass kissers and there's motherfuckers that actually do the shit because, there's motherfuckers that want to be leaders. You know what I mean? And there's always a difference. You can tell the difference between the shitbag ass kissing motherfucker that just wants to lick the sergeant's ass to get promoted.
Right.
But there's NCOs that like that shit. I never understood that, and then you have those hard chargers that, they want to learn and then not only be successful, but they want their soldiers to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the type of leadership I luckily came up under, that my chief, he understood that we were direct reflections of our leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Bam. See, and that's one of the major things that I always said. I remember when, sergeant majors would see me, they would be like, hey, Sergeant Mariscal, hey, I want to give you a coin. I'd be like, I don't want a coin. But let me get you one of my guys, and you can give him a coin. He deserves it, And I look back at it now. I maybe have like 5, 10 coins, and I see these guys with fucking racks of coins, and I'm like, God damn. But I'm glad I did what I did. Sometimes I'm like, fuck, I should have kept some coins.
Right.
Like, my guys deserved it. Yeah. I wanted them to have that, motivation to know that they're kicking ass.
Exactly. Exactly, dude.
I was that type of NCO though.
See, I got my little coin rack in the back right here too. But I remember this one specific time that there was like a coin that was given out by, I don't know if she was a 1-star from the Air Force, for a static display that we did from Fort Carson out to the Air Force Base, to Peterson. And I was like, I didn't want to keep it myself. I wanted to give it to one of the Joes. But I also wanted to test what one of my new NCOs, what his fucking thought process was. So I was like, hey, Sergeant Schnabel, you got this coin here. What do you think? I can give it to you, or what do you think we should do with it? And he was like, no, don't give it to me. Let's give it to so-and-so, to Private so-and-so. He worked his ass off out there, while we were occupying with the howitzer. Like, you know what? This motherfucker's going to make it, bro. And that impressed me, and it's awesome because now that I see him, I still got him on Facebook. That motherfucker's a Sergeant First Class now, and he went up quick. And it's great to see that I had something to do in a way, something to develop that guy to become a leader that he is now. You know what I mean? And I was not the greatest fucking NCO. I was an asshole. I'll be the first to admit that there were a lot of opportunities for me to that I could have corrected. But at the same time, my leadership style I wasn't the type that could just get shit done with motherfuckers. I don't know how some motherfuckers do it. Like, they're just like really calm and be like, hey, get this shit done, get it done, the end. Me, I guess because I grew up in an environment where there was a lot of yelling, to get the point across. It was just emphasizing. It wasn't out of hate. I treated everybody equally shitty. You know what I mean? That was the biggest thing. If I treat you shitty, I'm treating everybody equally shitty, but at the same time, it was because I also thought it was easier to go in an asshole and then pull back and be laid back than coming in laid back and then trying to be an asshole when you needed to, because people weren't going to listen to you. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. In my thought process, it makes sense. So you spent how many years in the Army?
21 years.
21 years. Holy shit. So you retired. Did you retire, or did you get med boarded, or how did that work out?
I retired.
Hell yeah. 21. So what year did you come in?
I came in 1991.
Holy shit. 91. And did you hit boots and ground in Kuwait, or did you miss that deployment?
I missed it. And that was another thing I wanted to join, because I wanted to go to combat. I wanted to go to Desert Storm.
Hell yeah. One of my brothers, he served in Desert Storm in the Marine Corps. He was a tanker, and he's one of the ones that pumped me up, bro, porque he was telling me stories of like the fucking tank battles and all this shit. So I'm a 13-year-old kid. I'm like fucking mind blown, bro. Dude. So, your first duty station, was that your only duty station, or did you expand and go to different locations as well?
Yeah, so I went Fort Riley. I was there for 3.5 years.
Okay.
Went to Fort Bliss, Texas. Yeah, that was, well, you know what? I love the people there, man. I had a great time there.
Well, I'm sure you felt at home.
Fuck yeah, man. Oh, dude, I used to party hard over there.
And that was when you could still go across the border, right? Without any fucking papers or not, just go in back and forth like nothing.
Yep, I remember that shit, man.
Dude, how did your first duty station differ from your second? Like, you went as an NCO already then, right? Or you were still okay?
I was E5 when I went to Fort Bliss, but I would say the unit wasn't that great, but the environment where, like I said, I was on a softball team, so that's all I played softball, fucking partied a lot with the civilians. So that was the best side of it, or good side of it. So it balanced out. But yeah, so after that, I went to Korea. After that, I went to 19 Infantry in Korea.
Oh shit. Yeah. Camp KC, yeah. Camp Hovey.
Camp Hovey, yeah. I was over there in Tokuri, man.
Oh yeah. Did you get to meet the midget?
Yes, I did. That was the Olympus, wasn't it? The Olympus or something like that?
Dude, they changed the name so many times because they get blacklisted, so they have to change their names for us to be able to go see them. But yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. So, well, let me ask you something. In these times, because this was early 90s, mid 90s, and that you were going through, how was the diversity in the military at the time, as far as like racial makeup? And did you find any adversity, being that you were, because you were saying earlier you were like the only Latino in that first unit? So what was the racial makeup like, and did you have any adversity? Did you have any struggles that you had to push through?
You know, I don't remember of any struggles as far as, oh man, they don't fucking like me because I'm Mexican or whatever. I don't remember that, but I do remember. I mean, we used to talk shit to each other. Hey, fucking, hey, Mariscal, fucking got some tacos, you know,
yeah,
fuck you know.
That's just normal.
Yeah. That's the only thing it was, but it was just brotherly love, you know, talking shit to one another. But I never had any incidences where, you know, I felt like, oh, you know, fucking they hate me because I'm fucking Mexican or whatever. Right. I don't remember that. But the diversity, you know, I always saw, like I said, I was always an infantry unit. So it was, you know, we had a few black guys, but they were there. It was mixed. But again, we had I never worked with females until, well, I think about until I went to the NCO Academy. But
okay,
I was never with women because we never had women in infantry units.
Right.
And so I mean, we were always, you know, fucking talking shit and cussing and motherfucker get your shit right. Now I was that type of NCO. I was calm.
Yeah.
We get to a point where fucking shit needed to happen. That's when dickhead came out.
Right.
You know? Oh, I would rock him. Trust me, I would smoke the dog shit out of him.
See, and I think that's another thing that's probably lacking nowadays. People don't know how to flip the switch. Because I can be cool as, like, my soldiers thought I was bipolar as fuck. Porque 1 minute I'm digging in your ass, and then the next minute is like, all right, man, let's go get some pizza and shit. You know, it's lunchtime. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with Chief? You know, hey, I mean, when it's time to work, it's time to work. When it's time to play, it's time to play. And in Korea, I'm sure you noticed this, that it's more of a unity there. Porque that's one thing I realized. I went to Korea back in 2007, and I realized that those people that are there with you, that you're there with them 24 fucking hours a day, 7 days a week for that year that you're there, or extra if you stay longer. So there's only one strip in TDC. You know, you're gonna bump into each other. You're gonna hang out with them. So there was that camaraderie, that unification was tighter than it was stateside. So people knew work is work, play is play. So come Monday morning, there was no fucking issues, you know, like everybody hopping and popping again. So,
oh yeah, I mean, if we had some issues, like some fucking real issues, we would handle it. You know, guys would go out, and because I was on Hobie, we had a soccer field, and I remember sometimes, and even in SEALs, they were having issues or problems with each other. Hey, let's go to the soccer field and fucking, hey, let them go by themselves. They would go back and solve their issues or whatever they had to do. They came back a little fucking fucked up. Back to work.
Exactly. I don't know if that still happens nowadays, to be honest. But I mean, if you had an issue, if a Joe and an NCO had an issue, take it behind the conics. You know, if it's that personal, take it behind the conics. Now, you as the NCO, you better not fucking lose. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if you got to grab some balls, twist, and pull, but you better win, because if that Joe whoops your ass, I'm sorry, but you will not be looked at as an NCO anymore. You're gonna be like, that motherfucker that got his ass whooped. So yeah, man. That's fucking awesome. Like, so at what point in your career did you decide, or in your military time, did you decide this is what I want to do for the next 21 years?
Cool, man. That's a good question. I think when I was at Fort Carson.
Okay.
Because after Korea, I went to Fort Carson. I was there in 98 to 2001.
Okay.
And I loved Carson. Carson was a great unit. I was in 1-8 infantry there.
Okay.
Fighting Eagles.
Oh,
so I really loved that duty station. It was awesome. That's when I knew, you know what, I love doing this shit. By that time, I was a staff sergeant now.
Okay.
And so I ran my own team. I was the team chief, maintenance team chief. So again, I had the most disciplined section always, because we're always squared away. Uniforms tight. Fucking. I never liked that. I remember, some NCOs would be, oh, we're mechanics. So I was like, fuck no, we're fucking soldiers first.
Oh my God. Ooh, you should have been a fucking field artilleryman. I'm telling you that right now. Because one thing that we took pride in was our fucking uniform, and I honestly believe, if you ever hear any of my old podcasts, I rant and bitch about uniform standards so fucking much, because I'm a firm believer that I have in my mind a mental picture of what a soldier looks like. You know what I mean? In my mind, creased fucking pants, boots shined like fucking mirrors, squared away. If it's the beret, make that beret look fucking squared away. And I hate the whole, we do this job, so we're going to be looking shitty. No, guy, you have your Monday uniform and you put that bitch on. And then when it's time to get to work, guess what you do? You go to the latrine and you can switch out, or you put your CVCs on top of that bitch. You know what I mean? But you're not going to look like a fucking shitbag in formation.
Fuck no.
But that went away with that new ACU. When the ACUs came out, forget it. BDUs went out the window. ACUs came in. Shitbag.
Yeah, wash and wear. That's all they were. But
garbage.
Yeah, man. So Fort Carson. I went to Fort Hood, Texas.
Yeah.
So I got to Fort Hood September. I think it was like September 5th of 2001.
Okay. Damn.
So I got there, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go sign in early. So I get there, and I remember standing there. I was staff sergeant, and I'm standing there, and I remember the sergeant major. They used to call our sergeant major Pimp Niner.
What the fuck?
And the reason they called him Pimp Niner because he was this old black fucking sergeant major, man. He'd always have a cigarette in his mouth, and he walked with a limp. He was a sergeant major of soldiers. He was a sergeant major where if a fucking officer was fucking with a soldier, he would be, come here, officer. What the fuck you doing? That's an NCO's job. Get the fuck out of here. He'd be that type of sergeant major. And so I remember we're all standing there, and you have all the privates and fucking and E4s and below. And he goes, all you motherfuckers, go put your TA-50 together. You're gonna get the fuck out in the field now. So they went and got some shit ready. And he looks at me, he goes, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to go to the field with my guys.
Yeah.
So I went out to the field. I was there a couple days, and then next thing I know, I get a phone call. My mom was like, hey, they just bombed the World Trade Center. I was like, what? And of course, we used to have the TVs with the antennas out there.
Yeah.
Fucking turned it on, and that's when I saw the second tower get hit. And I was like, holy shit. I go, we're fucking going to war, man. And no shit, radio call, net call, cease movement. Everyone report to the TOC. So we all go to the TOC. They're saying like, hey, wrap it up. We're going back to the rear. So we, packed everything up, tents and everything, whatever we had, loaded up the trailers. Okay, we started rolling back and, went through the wash rack, went to the motor pool, parked everything, and we were there till about midnight, man.
Yeah.
And, so the commander, he gets us all together. And I remember, man, sitting there, and our commander's first words was like, "Men, we are fucking going to war." He goes, "And some of you guys ain't gonna fucking come back." And man, those words, man, still gives me the chills right now. But
Yeah.
and to look around, all these guys, everybody's faces are, I'm not gonna say scared. Well, I guess you could say nervous.
Yeah.
And nervous and ready.
Right.
Because we trained, I've been training for fucking, I would think I was already like in 10 years, I think it was. Yeah, I was already 10 or 9 years. I forgot what it was. So, and in that moment, I was like, shit, man, this is it. This is game time. And I remember a couple of days later, they gave us the marching orders I was in first cav. And it was 4th ID and first cav at Fort Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they stood us down and 4th ID went for the invasion.
Okay.
So we're like, shit. But I remember right after that, we started training. 6 months, we went straight training. We went to NTC, we went to JRTC. We were just straight training, going field.
Right. You're getting ready to roll out.
Oh, yeah. And then I want to say it was like a year later, it was, no. They got their marching orders to Iraq in 2003. That's what it was. It was 2003. 4th ID left. We stayed there. And in 2004, we loaded up to go.
Yep. Because
And
I replaced y'all.
Oh,
well,
really?
Well, I didn't replace your unit per se, but when I got to Fort Hood, and I got to Fort Hood in 05. Were you there in 05?
Yes. Well,
okay.
That's when we came back.
Okay, so check this out. The weekend I got there is the weekend that those Joes from First Cav slammed into the wall by the tank.
Oh, I remember that. I was there. I was in a I was at Fort Hood at the time.
Yeah,
because I remember they bent they pushed in the bricks a little bit.
Yep.
I remember that shit. Man.
Yeah, right there off the Rancier Gate. That weekend that happened was my first weekend in Fort Hood. I had just gotten there, and I still remember I was like, what the fuck? These guys just got here a few days ago from over there, went out drinking, partying, try to come up the fucking street, turn into the Rancier Gate, didn't make it, slammed right into the fucking wall. Like, God damn. And that's horrible, man. I mean, I remember seeing that we lost more fellas to the fucking roads out here than we did out there. It was fucking crazy, man. And it still, I still remember that to this day. Like, fuck. And that's when I found out I was going to 4th ID, and I was in 277 Field Artillery at 4th ID in Fort right there in Hood. And but yeah, man. So you guys, where did you end up deploying in Iraq?
We were in North Baghdad by Haifa Street. It was a pretty high intense area, man.
Oh yeah. What do you know? What FOB you were in?
Well, we were FOB Headhunter, and then it became FOB Independence or some shit.
Yeah, we were. I know Haifa Street well. We were in FOB Union 3, right inside of the green zone. However, we worked all the east side of Baghdad, right off of Route Wild, the fucking main artery, that fucking that traffic circle that had like 5 different arteries that go in it, right by the Tunnel of Love. Oh my God, bro. We rode those streets like a champ, chief. But we ended up actually relieving 176. I'm sorry. We replaced 176 FA out of Fort Stewart, 3rd ID. So they probably replaced y'all and we replaced them. But
yeah. It was wild, man. It was fucking wild.
Well, at least,
it was crazy.
You got to go there, where the ROE was. I'm guessing it's still pretty laxed out there. So
yeah, it was. Basically, we saw I think it was like the Mahdi army. It was like the green bands. They were fucking kill on sight.
No shit.
So what I did, I was recovery NCO. So whatever vehicle got damaged, whatever it was, I was the one that rolled out in my 88s to go get the vehicles. And I remember our first mission. It was they had a car bombing, and 4 Delta Force guys got blown up.
Oof.
And so we had to go out there and remove the all the debris and the cars that were blocking roads and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was I was about to send out my E4, Lopez and Chavarria, and I could see their faces, man. And this, like I said, it was our first mission, so their faces were like, "Fuck," you know. I still remember to this day, and then I was like, I started feeling bad. I was like, fuck it. A leader does what he does, right? I said,
Yep.
Chavarria, you're staying back. I'm fucking going in. Lopez, you're in the fucking drive. If anything happens to one of my guys, it's gonna fucking happen to me. Let's go. And you know, his face like lit up, like fuck yeah, let's fucking do it. You know. So went out there, did our thing, came back, and then all my guys were like, "Fuck, I want to go next. I want to go next." You know, I want to go see some shit. You know, but you know, it came to a point. I remember we were all like, you know, fucking on high point, just fucking scanning our sectors as we were rolling out, scanning. And I want to say about a month 6, we were like, fucking,
Yeah.
If they fucking attack, they attack. They fucking kill us, they kill us. You know,
Yep.
Crazy.
I completely understand that, you know, and what's crazy is that it's funny that you mentioned that because yeah, you know, when you first get there, you're all fucking on your toes on eggshells, bro. I mean, like you're fucking shit hot. And then, you know, after a couple of months in there, you know, you get used to it. But that's what leads to motherfuckers getting killed. And the complacency. The complacency sets in. And unfortunately, that's what happened on our mission. It was my first mission going up from Baghdad to Camp Taji. And it was January 6, 2006. And we got fucked up. I mean, they fucked us up hard. It was their last mission, if not like second to last mission. And they were going home. And we were doing the right seat, left seat rides. And we got hit with 2 EFPs that day. And the EFPs had just come out. And you know, people say, yeah, I can't wait to go see that shit. You know, I was one of those guys like, yeah, I can't wait till I go out there, you know, be on that top of the Humvee, be a gunner, da. It all sounds good until you that first fucking boom, you know, then reality fucking hits, you know, and then you see one guy that you will never be able to save because his fucking throat was slit with the EFP. And then you have the other guy who literally was there 1 second, boom, gone the next, gone. All that was left was his fucking aid bag. And, you know, rest in peace, Sergeant Lopez and Doc Walker. You know, they gave their lives that day. And it was a horrible, horrible day. But I heard a lot of people talking like it was the complacency that kicked in, you know, because they were already on that mind frame. I'm going home. You know what I mean? And, you know, that set my tone for the rest of my deployment. Like, until my ass is on that bird in Kuwait, I'm not home. You know, even in Kuwait, you still got to be on, you know, just on guard, but not as much as in Baghdad. Baghdad's a fucked up place, you know. So.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, how many deployments did you end up doing?
Actually, I did 2 deployments.
Okay.
My first one, again, was right there at, in the Haifa area. Second one, I went back in 2009.
Okay.
Well, when I got back, let's say, so when I redeployed 2004, 2005, I came back home or back to Fort Hood 2005. I got selected to go to Fort Benning.
Okay.
And so I went there. I was there for a year. I was an instructor.
Okay.
And I was in 2-9 infantry there.
Okay.
So I was an instructor. What was I doing? I was teaching ANOC, BNOC, IOBC, Officer Basic Training course.
Okay.
I was teaching them how to do recovery operations, how to do a dash can, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And I was like, fuck no, I want to go back. I want to fucking go back to Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
So I got orders back to Fort Hood. And because first cap was about to leave.
Okay.
I went back and I got promoted as E7 over there at Fort Benning.
Okay.
So I got back to Fort Hood. I go to fucking first cav, you know, my old unit. I said, hey guys, I'm back.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going with you guys. So our major was like, one problem, because I ain't got no slots for E7. They're all full. I can't take you.
Damn.
And I was like, fuck. So I went to 3rd ACR.
Okay.
Hey, I want to go back. They're like, we had no slot 37s. It's like, fuck.
Damn.
And they were like, oh, yeah, you're going to have to go to the NCO Academy. So I get to the NCO Academy. You know what? You know how, like you said about any time that I had faced adversity?
Yeah.
Well, here's one for you right now. So I go to the NCO Academy. And remember that, I forgot what that fucking building was called. You know, it was 3 stories right behind the Burger King on Fort Hood's on First Cab side. I don't know if you remember that area. They used to have college classes, the bottom floor and shit like that.
Fuck. I'm trying to remember, dude. But let's go ahead.
Okay, so that's where the office was for the NCO Academy. So I walk in. Now remember, I could come in now. It's 2006.
Okay.
I got my combat badge. I got my cab on. All this shit. Walking in, seasoned motherfucking NCO.
Yeah.
And I look at the wall at all the cadres there. Look, all black.
Oh, orale.
Maybe one white guy, one white woman,
right,
and some black women, but all the rest were black dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I walk into the sergeant major's office. She was black. Straight up told me just like this. I hate the fact that I got to take you. She told me straight out like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Why? Well, we could call a spade on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, most of the people there were, none of them, I would say probably 2 people had combat patches.
Oh,
and she didn't have one either. And I don't know what the fuck she was, but she was sorry.
Dude, you know, that right there is shameful. When there's motherfuckers that hide out from deployments, that fucking irks me. When I was in Korea, there was a sergeant major there. Never deployed. Never fucking deployed. I forget the command sergeant major's name, but he was like, I want to say he was a sergeant major for what is it, 8th Army? And that motherfucker never left Korea, bro. He stayed there. He did the AIP, which we ended up calling the Avoid Iraq program, so he could stay out there, because they give you it's an Army incentive program. I guess you stay up there every 3 years. They give you extra money to stay there. How are you going to be a command sergeant major and be light on the right, bro? But hey, different world back, I guess now. It's okay. It's okay. I know that when I saw a motherfucker with a combat patch, at least I knew, okay, he can talk some shit. He's going to teach me something. Don't come over to me with saying like, oh, this is what war's going to be like. And you ain't ever been there, guy. Come on now. Shit.
Yeah, and it was exactly like that because when, I would watch the cycles. I think we had 2-week cycles.
Yeah.
For the who was it? A WLC. I remember now. They went from PLDC to WLC.
Right.
Warriors Leader Course. I thought it was fucking sorry, but anyway. And I remember sitting in class and watching this guy that didn't have a combat patch. And after like a break times or whatever it was, I remember soldiers coming up to me saying, "Hey, Sergeant, why is he teaching us when he hasn't been in combat?" I was like, you know what? He's an NCO still. You still listen to what he's got to say, But in the back of my mind, I was like, you're fucking right. You're fucking right.
You know what?
So, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. You just did something that I don't see anymore right now. And I talked about this on a previous podcast. I think you and I are on the same fucking wave. I saw this guy on TikTok, all right? The Tickety Talk. He's an NCO, and he was talking shit about other NCOs. Like, I guess, so what ended up happening was he saw a bunch of Joes talking shit about an NCO. And rather than going to fucking tell the goddamn Joes, watch your motherfucking self, don't talk about this NCO, he didn't correct it. You know what I mean? To me, that's a teachable moment. You go in there and you dig in no motherfucking soldier's ass, right, wrong, or indifferent, or what, that NCO is still a fucking NCO. You will respect that. And then you go talk to the NCO. Hey, brother, we got to have a talk, man. These Joes are talking about you. We need to fix this. You know what I mean? But you correct the fucking problem, because if you don't correct the standard, you just made a new standard. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw this NCO on TikTok saying that shit, I'm like, why aren't you fucking fixing it though? Why didn't you fucking go digging those soldiers' asses? That should have been what he was talking about. Approach it that way. So I'm sorry, you just said something that like you told the guys, hey, he's still an NCO, he's teaching, you're gonna listen. You know what I'm saying? And in the back of your mind, yeah, though you might agree with them, but you ain't gonna tell them that because then you're gonna take away from the authority that this man has.
Exactly.
Sorry, man. Sorry, I interrupted you on that one.
No. You're right. Absolutely right. And that's the thing, man, because Joes should look at NCO or the NCO Corps as like a fucking mafia. You fuck with one, you fuck with all. And that was the problem. Too many fucking NCOs, man. I would catch them trying to be buddies, and what used to piss me off, another thing was, and I already told you who the most of the cadre were. They were always fucking with the fucking females. I was like, stop that shit. I remember when I finally became a cadre, I got my little pin saying I was a cadre. And the first fucking female, when I got my first cycle, first fucking female walked up to me with their fucking hand, I parade dress and they're fucking, I sorry.
I'll parade pretty.
Hey, yeah, I looked right in the fucking face with the fucking knife and I go, listen, you're a fucking soldier and you're gonna fucking act like a fucking soldier, man. You're getting me back into the and I said, listen, I'm gonna treat you just like a fucking male. All right? So get the fuck out of my face and stop doing that bullshit. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. So of course, they all stayed away from me. But when it was fucking time in classroom, motherfuckers were listening. If they fucking started sleeping and shit, hey, let's go talk outside. I would fuck that motherfucker up.
It's what the Army needs to become back to. I seen the Army. I started seeing this on my way out. I got out in 2015. I was med boarded, so I didn't get out by choice. But I'm happy I got out when I got out because I would be what they consider a toxic leader right now. My style of leadership wasn't the most popular, but I wasn't there to make friends. My mission was to make fucking soldiers and make cannoneers and make you the best fucking cannoneer you can be. You know what I mean? I sucked at PT. I will be the first to admit that. PT was not my strong suit, but my strong suit was teaching. I can teach a fucking soldier. I will break that shit Barney style beyond belief. And the motherfucker will understand it. You know what I mean? And that might not have been the greatest fucking, I would not run a 12-minute, 2-minute mile. 12-minute 2-miler. But I will teach the dumbest fucking Joe that you gave up on how to shoot fucking artillery. I guarantee you that. You know what I mean? And but we've gotten away from being in the business of killing, which is our business at the end of the fucking day. Our business is the business of killing and business was good, but and when I got out, shit. Anyway, I started noticing that the NCO Corps was breaking down. It was all about me. The NCO Corps became the alpha a bit because it became I before you instead of we. But anyways, I can get into that shit. But anyways, did you see okay, so let's continue with your how did you end up pushing through that? Like, did you confront it? Did you talk to them, or did you just say, fuck it, I'm chucking deuces and going back to the line?
I would talk to some of the other NCOs, but something happened that shook up that NCO Academy. You were probably, I'm guessing you were probably there at Fort Hood in 2008, were you?
I was already in Korea.
Okay, well, you probably heard about this then. So one morning, my company, because you had two companies, you had Alpha Company and Bravo Company. Bravo Company, we were had a set of soldiers. Alpha had a set of soldiers.
Okay.
So anyway, we were tasked with running the land nav.
Oh, the guy that got lost.
Yes. So I was in charge of that land nav that day.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So we did everything by the book, the way we're supposed to do it, everything. You're given 3.5 hours to go find all your points.
All 4 points.
Yeah, was it 4? I don't remember how many points, but so you had that time. You got to carry cell phones.
Wow.
And when I went through PLDC back in 95, there was no you were locked down for 30 days and you were fucking locked the fuck down. Here, Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but the points are self-correcting as well, aren't they?
Yes, they are. I mean, all you have to do is fuck. I mean, yeah,
I got you.
fucking easy. And so we gave them the safety briefing, soldiers, or we call them sergeants. Hey,
Mhm.
sergeants, listen, you have 3.5 hours. At 3.5 hours, the course ends. If you didn't find your points, you are done.
Mhm.
You can take the test again the next day. We'll bring you out here. We're going to retrain you, and you're going to go on your own. Basically, we're
Right.
giving the fucking answers.
Right.
You're going to go retrain. So they go off. It's hot. Don't get me wrong. It's hot. Fucking hot and humid.
Mhm.
And some of the things that, we go walking around, or I did at least. I walked around by myself. If I see soldiers, something lost or something, I'm be like,
Yeah.
hey, soldier, what's going on? Or sergeant, what do you need help with? What can I do for you? I can't give them the answers, but I can show them, hey, maybe you need to, get your protractor right, whatever it
Right.
is.
Maybe you should shoot your azimuth this way. You know.
Yeah, So, look at your terrain.
Yeah.
Look at the map. So I mean, again, it's surrounded by hardball, man. Fuck, it's easy. So anyway, let me get away from that.
Yeah.
So 3.5 hours ends. Now I do remember we had creeks running through the course,
Right.
and I remember I found one sergeant laying in the fucking creek. He was not like fucking around. He was like
Right.
cooling off.
Oh, okay.
I told him, I go, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, I'm cooling off, and I was like, smart.
Yeah. I can't knock you for being smart, baby.
Yeah, fuck yeah. If he was burning up, fuck yeah, fucking cool down, babe. And then he went on his way. I said, Roger that, keep going, man. It's almost the end. So he went, man, we used to put off the siren that the course is over.
Okay.
Okay. And it's normal. We always had stragglers. So what we did, we told them specifically the time that you hear the siren, go to the hardball.
Right.
Stand on the side of the street and we'll pick you up. So what does it do? A Humvee drives around, picks everybody up, comes back. We account for everybody, or they're a self-leading school. They have their own first sergeants and all that bullshit. So hey, what's the accountability? We're missing one soldier, Sergeant Prater. Sprader, that's what his name is, Sergeant Sprader. We're like, okay, call fucking Sergeant Sprader on the cell phone. He answers. My first sergeant's talking to him. Where are you at? I'm by a hardball. Stay on the hardball. Stop moving. Stay on the hardball. You're done.
Yeah.
He's still talking. I can still do it. No, stop. Stay on the fucking road. And phone goes off. Start calling it straight to voicemail. And I'm like, fuck. So again, we go driving around. This time, all the NCOs spread out, go through all the bushes, all this stuff. Can't find Sergeant Sprader. Gets nighttime, still can't find Sergeant Sprader.
Wow.
We stayed out there till about, I think it was probably about 11 at night. Finally, we took all the students in, got back up, or I slept for like 3 hours, got back up at 5, came back to the land nav site. This time we had the fucking the prison guards with dogs and quads and shit.
Right.
They went out looking for this guy. We went out looking for this guy, walking around, Sergeant Sprader, nobody. We had people. Remember that black sergeant major that was always running? I don't know if you remember him.
I'm not sure, but I'm not sure, bro. Could have been my sergeant major that was always running.
Well, anyway, he said, hey, I saw that individual. I asked him, hey, you okay? Need any help? And he just kept walking. He didn't answer. So we figured by the time we talked to him that he was already kind of delirious.
Right. From the heat.
So, yes. So basically, we couldn't find him. And this was on a Friday, I believe. Didn't find him that whole weekend. And on Monday, they finally found him. And the way they found him, they could smell him.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but the crazy thing is, man, so we had platoon locations, and this kid was dead in the bushes like 100 meters away. So it was like fucking weird, but it is what it is. And so they found him dead. They started an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, it was they found the unit at fault because he was only there for a month from Korea, so he
Okay.
didn't get acclimatized. He didn't know the area, you know, blah 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 blah. They cited the unit himself and then us.
Wow.
So what pissed me off here? There comes fucking part 2 here.
Mhm.
This shit gets blown up on CNN, all this
Right.
shit. So they get rid of the general, gets rid of that investigating team, gets his own investigating team, and guess what happens? They found the fucking NCO Academy at fault. They interviewed us. I had to go fucking talk to the what are those fuckers? The investigator,
CID.
CID. I had to give my testimony, you know, or I had to go through an interview, man. They fucking, that was like crazy, like a criminal and shit. We're like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, we did everything by the book. You know, what can we do?
That
You know,
alone right there would have caused me to fucking want to leave the army, because that just shows me the army does not give a fuck about me. You know, it's not your fault that, you know, rest his soul, but the dummy didn't have fucking enough hydration. One. Secondly, I mean, if you can't read a fucking map, that's basic fucking soldiering right there. Basic that's on his unit. Because before I went to WLC, I went to WLC in Camp Jackson out in Korea. That bitch was a month long. And this was in 08. And it was March of 08. I still remember it perfectly. And my chief told me, I was the section chief, Sergeant Aguayo. He's like, look, Special Lopez. Oh no, I was Sergeant by then, I think. Yeah, I was Sergeant. Look, Sergeant Lopez, I'm not gonna send you to motherfucking WLC to go learn. You should already know what you're going there for. You're just going there to learn how to fucking do counseling statements and do the admin shit. The rest of the soldiering skills, you should already have that. Read a fucking map. Too easy. Get a protractor. You're fucking artillery. You know how to read azimuth. You know what I mean? You know how to deck it. So, I mean, that's on the unit right there. I completely agree. That's on the unit, you know, because they should be sending motherfuckers that are already ready to be at the level of being leaders. So I just don't. And then, like you said, I mean, if it's surrounded by hardball, how do you get lost? I never did the land nav course in the hood, so I can't really speak to it. But if I didn't get lost in Korea and that mountainous ass terrain, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of fucking reference points out there. I was stationed in Fort Hood, so fuck, it's unbelievable. But I mean, so when they found y'all at fault, did you end up getting like a fucking GOMAR or something for that shit?
Yep, sure the fuck did. Hey, but so you know, remember that Sergeant Major I told you about?
Yeah.
That, okay, so when we started getting investigated, her ass went and got a fucking lawyer and started saying it was a racial thing. I was like,
of course.
And it was like, you know, I had nothing to hide. I didn't fucking go fucking, oh man, I'm gonna get in trouble. No, I was like, fucking, I did the right thing. I can't blame me. I can't. And so I got some. This is another thing that I did find out while I was in the army about politics.
Okay.
When that shit hit CNN and like that, and I had, you know, a lot of great people that I worked for. Hey man, I need a fucking character statement from you. Oh man, you know, I really don't want to get involved with that shit. I was like, you son of a bitch, you motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Brother, you are preaching to the choir. I mean, again, we've hit this conversation before with another one of my homeboys. My co-host Urena, he does the midweek memo with me because I do 2 episodes a week. But Urena, when I had this conversation, how when you need somebody to give you a character statement, they don't want to fucking, you know, tarnish their fucking name,
their reputation. Yep.
Yeah, because they're trying to help you out. We're like, oh, you know, what kind of a fucking friend are you then? You know what I mean? You know, you're a fucking fair weather friend. Do you not have faith in me that, you know, that's bull and that's fucked up right there? Because that, you know, especially if it's somebody like you emulated or somebody that you came up with and you considered a brother, and then they're just gonna do you dirty like that. God damn, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. And that's when I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot about people and learned about, you know, hey, you know, be careful for who you, you know, call a brother.
Yeah.
You know, so
fucking hey.
So again, so we went through the investigation, and it came towards the day where, we all had to go to see the general.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked in there and I told him, he asked me, what do you think he deserved? I go, I deserve nothing. It was the guy's fault. He couldn't, fucking goddamn it, man. He was not ready for that shit. But the problem is we push leaders too fast through training when they ain't fucking ready to be there. And basically he didn't like what I said, so he gave me a fucking general letter of reprimand. It was a fucking counseling statement.
You know what kills me is you're hitting it on the head as far as like what I believed happened with the leadership in the NCO Corps itself, was that too many motherfuckers were pushed through to become sergeants because they needed them, and they had their time in service and time in grade, so like push them through. Fuck that. I made sure on paper I had it like, if a motherfucker is, I don't care how much time in grade he had or how much time in service. If the guy was garbage, well, I'm not going to say he was garbage. If the guy was not leadership material, I'm not going to send him to be a sergeant, because as a sergeant, you got to be a pit bull, and you got to know how to fucking train. You got to know how to fucking get a goddamn soldier's attention, keep it, and have them retain the information you're giving them. You're in charge of these kids. You know what I mean? You're in charge. And I seen one too many E5 sergeants that had no business at all having stripes. Sergeant Hardaway, I'm sorry if you're hearing this. I call motherfuckers out. Sergeant Hardaway, you had no business at all having stripes, because this character, they gave him stripes, bro, in Korea. He came over to us in Carson. This dude, we're getting ready to go to Afghanistan, and he's like, "Wait, we might die, motherfucker. We're at war, right? And no. And yeah, that was a product of fucking pushing fellas too quickly. And all they did at the board was what? What is the AR for uniforms? Fuck that. Tell me, how do you fucking fill a radio? Talk me through what your job is. You know what I'm saying? Fuck. Tell me sports. Fucking give me sports, goddammit. Don't just regurgitate, don't just regurgitate an AR or FM. Talk me through fucking your job, situational shit. What is a complex fucking ambush or a complex attack? Talk to me through that shit. You know what I mean? That's where I want to see it. Not in, the Uniform Code of Military Justice, Article 15, punitive. Fuck that, man. Anybody can read a fucking book and regurgitate.
Exactly. That's the point. We're all fucking paper NCOs rather than motherfucking goddamn hands-on, man.
Preach it. Oh, man. Dude, we haven't even started the tip of the iceberg on this fucking podcast. So let's fast forward a little bit, man, because we're going to be here and have to do a part 2, part 3, part 4. And fucking, but yeah, dude, tell me about, you went through all this, these issues, and then year 21 comes up. And what makes the decision of, all right, Mariscal needs to go home and hang his boots up? What made the ultimate decision for you?
So it was a multiple of things. I would say probably the majority or the main one was President Obama.
Okay.
And I didn't like what he was doing to my army. You were getting, certain people into leadership positions. I should get back to what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I had a lot of anger issues at that time. My PTSD was really, really, really kicking up.
Yeah.
I was empty, man. I was becoming empty. My tank was becoming empty.
Right.
I remember an officer told me one time, you have a Neanderthal leadership. I remember he told me that.
Okay.
And I do remember this, but I was that one fucking E7 that the first sergeant would call and goes, hey, I'm going on leave. You're going to be the acting first sergeant. Hey, we need this mission happen. Go get Sergeant Mariscal. Hey, you're going to be, running the shit. You're going to be the acting sergeant major when everybody else is gone. Why? Because I fucking made shit happen. I wasn't fucking afraid. I was making shit. You know what? It used to piss me off too. I used to have soldiers from other sections come see me because they were late to formation. I was like, where the fuck is your NCO? Well, he sent me to come see you. Okay, well, let's fucking do this. Go grab the fucking 5-gallon jugs. Fucking grab 2, start running the fucking place. I would smoke the dog shit out of these guys. But again, so I was done, man. I was empty. And when I went and put in my papers is when I had to go walk in to the fucking mental health. I was fucking crazy. I was fucking had anger issues again. I was always pissed off. I was always like fucking banging the noises. Fucking, it was just crazy. And my marriage was kind of fucking up already, drinking a lot. So I went to go see mental health. Walked in. I go talk to a psychiatrist. No more than I would say 2 minutes. This motherfucker asked me, hey, he tells me, remember these 3 things, tells me them. I only remembered fucking 1. He goes, oh, you have severe PTSD. Here's some medication. Come see us in a month. I was like, what? That's it?
Wow.
I lost the spirit.
Wow.
I was like, are we supposed to like talk about this?
Right.
Am I supposed to explain something? That was it, man. So I walked out of there and then I started taking medication. Now I felt like a fucking zombie. So I dropped my paperwork. I retired or put my paperwork. I think I retired in like 6 months after that. But that's when the shit really started. On my way home, I do remember, being excited, thinking that all kinds of people are going to be fucking lined up to hire me. Why not? I was a fucking sergeant first class. I was a platoon sergeant. I had 73 men that worked for me. Fucking, in fact, that year I got best motor pool in the United States Army.
No shit.
Yeah, I was one of the NCOs. Yeah, as a platoon sergeant. So anyway, so I was like, fuck, why wouldn't they? I was fucking in charge of so much equipment, blah blah blah. Everything was good on paper, but the thing is, they didn't know who I am.
Right.
So when I got home, expecting emails, phone calls, all these things, throwing in resumes, nothing. And then I started questioning my accomplishments. I started questioning who I was. And worst of all, I started questioning my fucking worth. So when that started happening, of course, I started going into a depression, started drinking a lot. Marriage was going to shit. It was just, I started feeling sorry for myself. I was fucking in the dark place, man. Fucking very dark place. And that's when I started thinking, why am I here? What am I doing, man? I cannot, transform into the civilian. All I know is fucking Army. All I know is fucking military, how to do, have a mission, fucking complete the mission. But see, I was fixing everybody else's problems, but never fucking fixing my shit.
Right.
Because I was so busy fixing everybody else's. But anyway, so I got into this deep depression. I got to this, I went through like 5 jobs in like 2 years, So suicide, of course, came up. And I was like, man, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. I got nothing else, man. I ain't got fucking nothing else. So on the day where I, was really, really thinking about this, I get a fucking phone call. It's divine intervention, man. I get a phone call. It was a school, a friend of mine that was a teacher or is a teacher.
Yeah.
Hey, Ernie, man, can you please come to my students? Because they were high-risk students, dropouts and shit like that. Same thing I was. So I was like, man, something kept telling me, you're going to go. So, all right, man, I'll go do it. Hang up. I go over there. And when he calls me up, hey, I got a guest today. He served in the Army, blah, blah, blah. And then when I stood in front of that fucking classroom and I looked at those students, I saw me when I was a kid. I saw that kid that was scared, that kid that didn't believe in himself, that kid that wanted to hear somebody say, hey, you can be whatever you fucking want to be in this world. You just fucking got to go after it and put the fucking work in. I needed that shit as a kid. Yeah. And I saw those faces and I saw the same shit. I saw me. So in that moment, man, I felt peace. I felt fucking, I belonged in front of those people. Yeah. And the fucking best of all, I fucking felt my worth again. So in that moment, man, I told him my story. I told him how I went through all the shit. I started at 5 years old. I went through it. But the first thing I said, don't feel sorry for me. I was talking with no cuss word. Don't feel sorry for me. Learn from me. Nothing can stop you in this world but you. Once you make that decision to be the victim, you're going to stay a victim.
Yeah.
But once you become that victor, where you can overcome rather than live in fear or live as everything or everyone owes you because what you've been through, ain't nobody going to come save you but you. I gave that speech and man, these kids were like, hell yes. And so one hand goes up, and I had this student ask me, what is a veteran? And no shit, man. In that moment, I look back at all my accomplishments, and there was one thing that stood out, and this is part of my speeches that I do now. It's called Sergeant Chatham. He was in my unit. In fact, I met Sergeant Chatham at Fort Benning one morning. We did PT together.
Yeah.
And of course, I was that fucking NCO, that fucking, proud chest motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we're going to go on a 5-mile run. I'm going to smoke this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Sergeant Chatham take off running. We're going. And this fucking dude's staying up with me. And I'm like, damn, And then there's this hill at Fort Benning called Cardiac Hill.
Okay.
Because it's steep. It breaks a lot of people's hearts, man. You see people like go off to the side. So anyway, me and him hit it, and we're going fucking rolling up that damn thing. He's staying up with me. And I'm like, shit, never back down, man. So we get to the top, we get finished our PT. I go, hey man, I'll meet you up at the motor pool. All right. We get to the motor pool. I'm sitting there already. He walks in, I see him limping, and I'm like, hey man, you all right? And he goes, my legs bother me. And I'm like, you want me to go get some tissues, man? He was like, go fuck yourself, man. So no shit, this fucker sits right in front of me, lifts up his pant leg. Fucking Sergeant Chatham was fucking, he had a prosthetic leg.
Oh, no shit.
Oh shit, man. No fucking shit. So this guy, he told me, oh man, yeah, a year or so ago, I was ambushed. RPG went through his Bradley, blew his leg clean off. And he said, man, I had to go home. I had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to be a father again, husband, doing all these things. He goes, I never felt sorry for myself. And then he tells me how, going through all this stuff, he had to do it, again, and then when I told that story to that student, I was like, not once did he feel sorry for himself. He went through all that shit. Yeah. And that's what a veteran is. That's what we do, man. We're trained to overcome. We're trained to conquer. We're not trained to fucking retreat, man. And that's what a lot of us got to remember. Out there, I'm talking to all my veterans, brothers and sisters. We are fucking warriors, man. Stop looking at the shit that you can't do and start working on yourself to build yourself for what you can fucking do.
Facts, bro. I'm sorry. The moment you were saying that he had a prosthetic leg, where my mind went? That he had a fucking unfair advantage because his leg didn't get tired. So he had an unfair advantage.
There it is. God damn it.
See, that's the fucking mentality that we have in the military. We have this dark humor. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's what helps us fucking cope and deal with what we do. And dude, one of the things that really touched on that you really spoke to right now is I think one of the difficulties that a lot of military members have coming out of the military, myself included. And it's finding that purpose again. What is our purpose? Because for all these years that we were in, we had a structure. We had a reason to wake up, whether it was PT, whether it was fucking taking Joe and having their days fucking outlined to what was going to happen. We knew there was an end state and we knew what it took to get there. Now here in the civilian sector, a lot of Joes, especially nowadays, need to realize the civilian sector don't give a fuck about a DD-214. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit if you got fucking 1-1 on your NCOER among the best, promote ahead of peers. They don't give a shit. You know what I mean? They don't. So it's hard to find that worth in yourself. Whatever you did and you accomplished in the military, they don't give two shits about. CIB, CAB, they don't know what the fuck that is. In the army, in the military, hell yeah, good shit. Out here, what the fuck does that got to do with the fuck we're doing? Not a damn thing. So it was hard for me coming from being in the field artillery to come out, and you have to humble yourself. You have to humble yourself, man. I started in a call center, working in a call center, taking claims, for car accidents. And I went from leading soldiers to taking phone calls. What the fuck am I doing with myself? And yeah, man, the thoughts, they were there, bro. Same thoughts. Alcohol. Oh yeah. I've been 3 years sober now, and thanks, brother. And I mean, I took hard to alcohol because I wanted to drink. It's going to sound weird, but I drank to feel again, to get a sense of feeling. The only problem is when I started drinking, I couldn't stop drinking, and I started feeling too much. And that would lead me into the rabbit hole of like, what the fuck? These motherfuckers died out there. I'm still here. What am I doing with my life? Why is my life better? I started going through survivor guilt. You know what I'm saying? So I went through that shit hard. And eventually I started doing this shit here. This podcast. I've been doing that for a year and some change. And this has filled that void of purpose. You know what I mean? So yeah, it might be a small audience, but even I love getting the text or the messages saying, "Hey Chief, thanks for that last podcast, man. It was really good. It made me feel like I was back on the gun line again, just talking shit, just to forget about the world for a minute, and just to connect again with my veteran friends." I'm fucking happy. If one person listens to the podcast, I'm still fucking doing it because that person is getting something out of it. And I feel like I have purpose again. So I think that's what you ended up getting out of that going to that class gave you that purpose again. And your purpose was not, it's twofold because your purpose is giving other people purpose. So, I mean, dude, how fucking badass is that shit, man? I mean,
yeah, man.
Dude, I mean, you get to see yourself in their shoes, in that seat, letting them know, hey, I was there at one time where you're at, and I made myself something. You know what I mean? Dude, to me, there's nothing more awesome than that.
Yeah,
I applaud it.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. But I'm telling you, and going back to what you said, a lot of veterans, they lose their purpose, they lose their mission. But here's the thing. Remember, I was talking about, we still have an opportunity. We still have a choice after something that happens. Now, we wake up, right? We wake up every day, and there's going to be one, it's going to come to an end. But on that day you wake up, you got to wake up feeling grateful for a fucking another day. You got to be grateful for another fucking opportunity. Now, that opportunity's on you. Yeah. What are you going to do with that opportunity? What are you going to do with that day? Are you going to fucking sit there and dwell on it? Or are you going to fucking stand up and fucking maximize it? You know what I'm saying?
Nope. Bro. And go ahead.
You could be there being fucking negative. Oh, man, I have to go do that. I have to go do that. Shut the fuck up. You get to go do that shit, man. Look at how many brothers and sisters we fucking lost over there. We fucking got to live for them.
Yep.
Fucking pick up the baton of fucking life and fucking make some goddamn shit happen. If you need a purpose, look in the fucking mirror. That is your purpose, and build that person. We are fucking trained to fucking move. We're not trained to fucking dwell. We fucking create action, man. We adjust. We fucking flank. Fucking conquer it. Go after it. Fucking attack the hill. Remember that shit?
Bro, here's the way I look at it. You're a fucking soldier. That used to mean something. That means that you can fucking take anything and push through it. No matter the consequences, you're going to fucking go forward. You're a soldier. That's what makes you different in the civilian sector. I'm not saying we're better. I'm saying we're different. We're built different. We're different because we're capable of fucking pushing through. And with that said, I love what you just said, bro, because it reminds me of this one phrase that has always stuck with me. My soldiers that came up under me, they know it. There's two types of people in this world. The motherfuckers that watch shit happen and the motherfuckers that make things happen. Which one are you going to be? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I got that from my old First Sergeant Kippy Samuel. I remember that motherfucker. He's telling me, Lopez, There's two type of motherfuckers in this world. I'm sure you can guess what his race is. There's motherfuckers that watch shit happen and motherfuckers that make shit happen. Which one are you? Bro, that stuck with me for the rest of my fucking life. And it's sticking with me through it, because I refuse to be a motherfucker that watches shit happen and then just talk shit about it. I'd rather be the motherfucker that tries to do things. And you know what? With that, I mean, you're pumping me up right now, dog. It makes me want to tell people, check this out, y'all. Try it out. And if you fail, fuck it. Guess what? Don't look at it as a failure. Look at it as a learning opportunity because you learned not to do that shit again.
Yeah, it's all about how you deal with failure.
Bro.
Failure is part of life. Failure is a fucking part of the process becoming successful.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to fail. Now, don't make it a habit. Obviously you got to learn from it and make tweaks and changes, learn from it, use your intelligence, but I mean, dude, we can go on forever on this. Let me ask you something, bro. Let me ask you, like, this shit that's going on in Afghanistan, there's a lot of fucking brothers and sisters out there that we have that are definitely, feeling some kind of way, myself included. Like I said, I'm confused. I've said this a couple of times already before on the other podcasts. I'm kind of confused because I'm happy that this shit is over with. The GWAT, the global war on terror, it's quote unquote over with. However, I'm pissed off at the way that it was handled. And I know today I went to the VA center here in San Antonio at Tejeda, and I was talking to a brother there, and he's like, dude, it's fucked up. He's like, I got blown up over there. I got shrapnel in my body, and I'm fucking pissed because I feel like it was worthless for nothing now. You know what I mean? So what do you say to somebody that's in that situation?
I want to say this. If we went over there, we did our job and we did it great. We came home. What's happening right now, this is happening because of the things our leadership in the military is concentrating on. Fucking about race, about equality, all these fucking things. But guess what? We're losing the focus on our mission of being war fighters. And that's the fucking problem. Our leadership is focused on other things rather than the real shit, the real things that matter. Security, leadership in the fucking field. That shit should have been secured. Whatever they, when they were pulling out, they should have pulled everybody out, all the civilians out of there, pulled them out, had security there. Once we got everybody in the secured area, got them out of there, and then we pulled everybody out. Mm-hmm. That's what I don't understand either, man. I was so pissed off yesterday after the 13 that were killed. I was fucking mad. But again, we did our thing, but we got to keep our emotions in check.
Right.
We still got a mission at home. We got to take care of us. We got to take care of our families. That's our mission now. We have guys there that got to do their mission.
Right.
We all wish that we can go and fucking throw down. But that's not our job right now. Our job is to take care of our families. And trust me, if they fucking said, hey.
Goddamn. And it froze. Goddamn, damn. I'm feeling some dead air. Yeah, you froze up, brother.
Am I good now? Did I come back?
Yeah, you're good. You're good to go now. So you said we all want to be there. If they told you to go, that's where you froze.
Okay, if they told me to go, fuck yeah, I'd be on the first bird out there. But the thing is, we have a mission, man, and focus on that mission. And all we can do is fucking vote, man. Let's vote with fucking logic. Let's vote with fucking smarts rather than voting for emotions, because this is what happened. People voted with emotions on this one, and look at what we're facing now.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on this one, brother. I was not a fan of the orange man. All right, I'm not gonna lie. I voted for him. I did vote for Trump. I did, because either him or Hillary. I'm gonna vote Trump.
Yes.
And even though I would have gone third party, but I wanted Trump just for shits and giggles. But fucking, I really thought that he was gonna do something, But was he the greatest president? No. Was he presidential? No. But would I rather have him as opposed to fucking the puppet that we have right now? 1,000 times. Oh, a few mean tweets. Oh shit. You know, oh, he's racist. No, he's not. At least in my opinion. No, he's not. I'm not a fucking red pilled like my boys are, some of my boys, and that's cool. Hey, whatever your affiliation is, cool. You know, I'm dead center, leaning to the right. But dude, the leadership that we have, what leadership? What leadership do we have there? You know, it's non-existent. It's non-fucking. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of motherfuckers out there that were higher pay grades than me that make those decisions. But as the NCO in me, the NCO in me is like, what the fuck happened? I mean, honestly, where's the thought process in just fucking pulling everybody out? You know, that's a butter bar mistake. You know, that's not a general mistake. That's a butter bar mistake. I mean, dude, you let the fucking Taliban control the outer cordon? Are you serious? You think they're not going to be like, hey, come on in, brother. You know, go blow a couple of them up, you know, for the good old days, for the good time. And yeah, it's horrible. Mess, man. It's horrible. And, you know, and for a lot of veterans out there, and a lot of active duty cats as well, you know, it's hard. Why would I want to stay in this type of military? Why would I want to continue to serve, you know, under this type of fucking leadership, quote unquote leadership? You know, I'm not the type to point fingers, you know, but like he said, the buck stops here. All right, motherfucker, the bucks now eat your fucking words, guy. Eat your fucking words. Oh man, we're gonna get political on this, but dude, we're gonna have to end this one short, brother, because I need to have you again. I need to have you again. And where can people find you at?
So you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube, Ernie Mariscal, Mariscal 90. I also have a website. I sell t-shirts. They're Keep Up the Fight apparel. Now, the reason I came up with this, you'll see, look at it. It's a Spartan, a fucking warrior. And around that is the Aztec calendar. 365 days of being a fucking warrior. So I created this, and this is how I did it. You know, just one day I just closed my eyes and I thought of myself as that warrior, that one that could defeat whatever is in front of me. And when you do that, man, you could do that, you know, right now or whenever you get time, do that. And just feel that strength, feel that power. And every time you face adversity, think of that same shit again. And that's the way my shirts do. And then I have motivational quotes. Like on the back, I have the logo again. It says, keep up the fight. Because, you know, that's what I always talk about. After every speech, I'll say, keep up the fight. I do videos weekly, you know, three times weekly. I only did one this week because I've been pissed off about shit going on.
Right.
You know, and the main thing is we always, like I said, we got a mission, got to take care of ourselves. Our mental health is fucking very important in this life. But yeah, so I have shirts that are inspirational. I'll have some other stuff like mindset. I'll have prepare to win, you know.
Is there a website?
Yes. So it's www.keepupthefighapparel.com.
All right. I'm going to make sure, send me the link. I'm going to go ahead and put it onto the Facebook. So we can go ahead and plug that shit there. How did you come up with the quote, keep up the fight?
I got keep up the fight when I was in Korea. So our motto, our unit slogan was keep up the fire. So when I got out, I always remembered that was one of my, you know, awesome units.
Yeah.
When I retired, you know, I was always telling these veterans, you know what, we need to keep up the fight in life, man.
Yeah.
And then that just took off from there. And that's why I always kept it now.
Dude, it's funny you say that, because I was in 1st and 15th Field Artillery, so we're tight with 1-9 out there, fucking Manchu motherfuckers. So, or was it 2, whatever the fuck they were, but dude, keep the fire. That was it keep the fire?
Keep up the fire.
Keep up the fire. Yeah. Oh man, dude, it's been awesome, Ernie. I want to have you on here again, and
anytime.
And I mean, this has been fucking great. I can't tell you, God does not put shit in people's paths for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Amen, brother.
This is gonna touch somebody. It's gonna get to somebody. Y'all make sure y'all go check out fucking what is it again?
KeepUpTheFightApparel.com.
KeepUpTheFightApparel.com. Y'all make sure y'all go find Ernie Mariscal at whatever fucking social media. I'm gonna plug it on all the fucking Facebook. And I want y'all, man, to do what this man says, and that's keep up the fucking fight. How is it, Ernie?
Keep up the fight.
Keep up the fight, y'all. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all being here. Rounds complete. Intermission. Gun line out. Bye, motherfuckers.